Hey everybody, welcome back to Counting Pennies with Gen Z. Back at it again this week. For this week, our topic is going to be budgeting and all about budgets, why they're important, and how to make them. I believe that everybody should have a budget, regardless of your income level or if you're working part time and you're a college student or just regardless of your financial priorities. Having a budget is great just because, like with most things in life, they're much easier to achieve if you have a plan. And so, budgeting just helps you achieve those financial goals more quickly, and it kind of gives you a roadmap of how to get there. So, what's the deal with budgets? Why are they important? The first main reason is it gives you a helpful visual of where your money is going. Too easy, it can be, or I'm sorry, too often it can be easy just to spend money and have an idea of, oh, I spend this much on going out each month, and I probably spend this much on this and this much on this. And like maybe you do spend close to that, but maybe it's a lot higher than that. Maybe it's a lot lower than that. So having that budget is really good just to be able to track where that money is going and to potentially increase or decrease spending in different areas. It makes it easier to reach financial goals. Once you see where your money's going, or in some cases not going, you can then realize, okay, maybe I need to divert more money to this cause or less money to this cause. And so then hopefully you're able to save more money and reach those financial goals of yours. Helps build financial stability. This also ties into the next one, which prevents stress when unexpected financial emergencies arise. So, yeah, having a budget is great just because it helps you um, allocate that extra money just for when those unexpected financial emergencies do arise. It helps build financial stability just because like you have that extra money just in case something were to happen. And you're also able to, if your budget allows for it, you're also able to save for retirement. So then once you get to that part of your life, you don't have to be worried about your finances versus somebody who may not have been saving for retirement for the past 40 years. And also with budgets, they can evolve and they should evolve as your life changes. I know that the budget that I have right now is different from the budget that I had a year ago, which will be different from the budget that I have a year from now, which will be different from the budget that I'll have in 20 years. Just because my life is constantly changing, especially now when I'm in my mid 20s. I know that a lot of things are going to change, like in the next year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, etc. Whether that's having income changes or purchasing property or other large purchases or being able to contribute more to retirement or less to retirement, that type of thing. I just know that as I go on with my life, my budget and everybody else's budget will also evolve. And so don't think that the budget that you have today is the budget that you're going to stick with for the rest of your life, because as you grow older, your financial priorities are definitely going to change. Types of budget. Here I'm just going to highlight three types of budgets. I know that there are many different types of budgets, though these just seem to be the three most popular ones and the three which I know a little bit about. First one is the traditional budget. Um, Traditional gender roles may be a thing of the past, but that does not mean that the traditional budget has to be a thing of the past. It's still very relevant. I tagged this one the OG budget just because when most people think of budgets, this is what they think of. So, to make the traditional budget, all you do is you figure out your income for the month and you figure out your expenses for the month and you subtract your expenses from your income, and hopefully this number is positive. If it's negative, that means that your expenses for the month are greater than your income for the month. And thus, you either should raise your income or subtract expenses. So, with this information now, you're going to set goals for how much you want to spend each month in each category of your budget. So you're going to set goals of, okay, I'm going to allocate 1,200 for housing. I'm going to allocate 300 for gas, 200 for insurance, 400 for car payment, etc., etc. And so yeah, this is just a great way to set everything up, and then you can visualize where every single dollar is going towards the budget. And then at the end of the month, you can go back in and reevaluate and look, okay, we spent more money in this category, but we spent less money in this category. So going forward for the next month, let's tweak it to allow more spending in this category and less spending in this category. And so it's a constantly evolving budget. Um, this can be very time consuming at first, just because you're having to track every single expense, try to figure out a ballpark range of how much you need to allocate for each expense. And so it definitely can be time consuming, though this can also be very worthwhile, especially for people who have never budgeted before and have no idea where their money's going. This is definitely a good way just to kind of lay everything out for the month, just to see where your spending's at. And like I said, this can also, or this budget will also need readjusting, basically as your income or expenses go up or down. So if your income goes up, then you'll probably want to adjust it to allow for more saving. If your income goes down, you'll probably need to tighten up in some categories. Same with your expenses. If some expenses go up, then you'll probably want to hopefully have some other expenses go down. Maybe you won't be able to save as much. And so this is a great budget, but it does require a pretty good amount of work just in terms of maintaining it so that everything is always balanced out every single month. The 50-30-20 budget, the modern budget for the modern man and woman. This one's been really popular recently, and I really, really like it. Just because it's pretty easy to follow for most people. I say most people, I'll get into that in just a little bit. And it basically lets you enjoy life and be able to spend on non-necessary items while also being able to put some money away. So with this one, just like the name suggests, 50% of your income is going to go to your needs. So that's going to be things like food, gas, housing, insurance, that type of stuff. 30% is going to go to wants. So this is going to be things such as eating out, entertainment, clothes, decor, all that type of stuff, traveling. And then 20% is going to go to savings / paying off high interest debt such as credit cards. So this 20%, this can be put into like an emergency fund in a high yield savings account. It can go into retirement funds. It can go into general investments, that type of thing. This one's nice just because it gives you flexibility with your spending while also being able to put money away in savings. And so this one's great because it allocates a whole 30% to be able to go to discretionary purchases. So if you're bringing home $3,000 a month, you're able to put $900 per month towards going out, clothes, traveling, all that type of stuff, which is a lot of money. This is also great because it's less time consuming than the traditional budget. So just because you don't have to adjust it every single month, as long as you're able to stay within the percentages of 50-30-20. Oh shoot. Oh no, sorry. I thought that I spelled budget wrong because I thought that it ended in an R for some reason. And now that I'm looking at it, the word budget looks really, really weird just because I've been looking at it all day while making this video. So yeah, it just looks really, really weird now. But I believe that's how you spell budget, right? Budget. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, it's less time consuming than the traditional budget because like I said, as long as you're hitting inside of those percentages each month, then it doesn't really matter where the money's going. Granted, if you're spending $900 a month on alcohol, then that might be a different issue. But regardless, this one does give more flexibility than the traditional budget. The con, like I said, it does not work with lower slash upper extremes of wealth or if you live in a high cost of living area. So if you're on the lower end, then you might not have a full 50% of your income each month to go towards discretionary purchases and saving. That 50% that goes towards your needs, that might look more like 60, 70, 80, 90, even 100%. And then on the other end, this doesn't also work great with the upper extremes just because it can lead to excessive spending. So if you're bringing home, say, 10 grand a month, this budget allows you to spend a full 3,000 every single month in a discretionary purchases, which is definitely a pretty good amount. But like I said, this budget does work well for most people. It's just that on the two extremes, it might not work as well. And also with this budget, it may take longer to reach your financial goals because you're putting away 20%. I know that in some cases you might be able to put away more, though if you're really just sticking with this budget, you might not be putting away more even though you can. And so this one, if you're sticking with this and only saving 20%, then this one just might take longer to reach your financial goals. The reverse budget for the saver in all of us. This is a great one. This is the one that I use personally. It's called the reverse budget because with a typical budget, you'll basically pay for all of your expenses first and then put the remaining money into saving, where this one prioritizes saving and investment goals by paying yourself first. So how I work this one, I basically have goals each month of how much money I want to save. So all the money that goes towards my savings accounts, whether it be a 401k, a Roth, a high yield savings account, general investments, that money never sees my checking account. So that money is just immediately withdrawn from my paycheck and goes into those different accounts. And then the lump sum that I have left over, that does go into a checking account. And then that is what I have left to spend for the month. And with that, I basically have a bucket. Excuse me. Not like a literal bucket, but like a lump sum of money each month. And that, oh, excuse me, I keep on burping. So professional. And that lump sum basically gets split up between my living expenses and my discretionary purchases. So this one's super easy just because, or super simple just because it's easy to set up. And I really don't track like my spending down to the dollar every single month. I just figure how much I need to survive off of and then put in a little bit extra for discretionary purchases. And then I just live off of that every month. And then if at the end of the month I have a little extra money in my checking account, I will for the most part just like throw that towards the savings, which will then just add on to that savings. And this one's nice because it gives peace of mind when I'm making discretionary purchases, just because I know that my saving goal for the month is already being achieved every single month because that money's automatically going into it. So then I don't need to worry as much if when I'm making a purchase of something non-essential, just because I know that I'm already saving enough money. This is not great if you're living paycheck to paycheck or if your income greatly fluctuates, just because if you're living paycheck to paycheck, then you might be needing to pull from your savings, or you might not be able to make much into your savings at all. And if your income greatly fluctuates up or down, then you might need to then you'll probably find yourself each month adjusting it and like either realizing, oh shoot, I have to pull more from savings, or oh shoot, I could be putting more into savings. But as somebody whose income is pretty stable at least during the winter, I know they'll fluctuate a little bit once the summer comes. But as somebody whose income is pretty much stable right now, this one works great for me just because I do prioritize saving and investing. How do I start? How do I start? a budget. Tips on getting started. The first time you do a budget probably won't be the best time, and so don't get discouraged. The main thing is to realize what your financial priorities are. Everybody has different financial priorities. Mine are probably different than yours. That doesn't mean that mine are wrong and yours are right, or that yours are right and mine are wrong. It just means that our priorities are different, and that's perfectly okay. So maybe your priority is to retire by the age of 45. In that case, you're probably trying to make as much money as you can now and shoveling 60, 70, 80% of it into savings. Maybe your priority is to do a lot of traveling right now. In that case, you're probably not putting as much into savings now. However, you are able to do a lot of traveling now just because your lifestyle allows it. So once you realize what your priorities are, you should then form a budget that reflects these priorities. So maybe you do like to save a lot, and your living costs are pretty low. Then with that, I would say that the reverse budget would be a great place to start. Maybe you're more interested in going out more and buying more things and going out to eat and doing a little bit of traveling, and in which case you'll probably want a budget that gives more room for that, such as the 50-30-20. Regardless, the most important part is that you have one. So with this, you can either use pen and paper, you can use Excel, or you can use Mint. Mint is an app, and I believe that they have a website as well. I used it for a little bit back in college. It's great just because you can type in your bank accounts, and then it basically tracks your spending and your incoming and your outgoing every single month. And then it can also categorize everything just so that then you see, okay, I'm spending this much on groceries, I'm spending this much on gas, I'm spending this much on whatnot, all that type of stuff. And so I personally did use Mint, and I definitely liked it a lot. Though right now, I would say that the last time I typed out my expenses was on Excel, but whichever works best for you and whichever you find easiest should be the one that you use. Finally, this is important. You should realize that everybody's budget is different. So my budget's going to be different from your budget. Sorry, I got distracted there. I got a text. Hold on. I got to respond to this. Hey, future Thomas here. So, what had happened was one of my clients at work had texted me, and it was kind of urgent. So I figured that I should. This is so unprofessional. We are going off the rails right now. Okay, I'm back. We weren't actually going off the rails, but it sure felt like that. And I didn't just want to leave this quiet. But yeah, I hope that everybody's enjoying the video. I know that I had fun making it. I'm not too sure how else I should fill this space. Hold on. This is going great. Episode 4. Okay, perfect. What are some of y'all songs that you've been listening to recently? I've been listening to Where Did You Go? I'm Less of a Mess Now by Blue October, Runaway to Mars by Talk, Lethal by Forever MC. Okay. Sorry. I'm not going to cut any of this. This is great. This is raw. This is authentic. This is the Thomas that you wanted. Yeah. Lastly, realize that everybody's budget is different. What I say, mine's different from yours. Yours is different from mine. Everybody has financial priorities that are different. And so if your budget doesn't look like mine, that's fine. It probably won't. And my budget's probably not going to look like yours. And that's perfectly fine as well. The most important part, like I said, is just getting on a budget, just to have a clear sense of where your money's going, and then to be able to make your money work for you. So that's everything that I had for this week. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I definitely had more fun making this one, not necessarily because budgets are the most exciting thing to talk about, but just because, I don't know, I just feel more comfortable talking, which is really, really good. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this energy as well. I hope y'all enjoyed the positive energy. And so thank y'all for watching. I hope to get another video up. I guess we're doing once every 2 weeks now in 2023. So hopefully I get something up in 2 weeks from now, unless I come up with another idea by next week. And in that case, I'll be seeing you in a week. But thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.